Hey everybody, it's OTWP. So I'm out here working, but as you can see, I've also been coming up with some new things on the board, and it's basically called Bases Covered. I hope you all can see it, but it's called Bases Covered. And I think it's really important, right, to make sure that we do have the bases covered. And what do I mean by bases covered? I'm sure somebody in the chat's going, what does that mean? Getting them covered, getting your bases covered is like probably one of the most important things I can think about right now, because without your bases being covered, you're going to be left out in the open, victim to a lot of bull crap. And that, my friends, is when you will have the meltdown, because your bases won't be covered. So we're going to bring it down here a little bit so y'all can see it. I hope you can see it. My first thing is that we've always talked about food, water, shelter. Food, water, shelter. You know, your three musts. And if you're at this stage in the prepping world, we welcome you. You know, food, your water, and your shelter. So really, if you are at that stage, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. At least you're here. At least you're making the steps, right? But then, once you get these covered, and I mean food, you should be shooting for 1 to 3 years of food. And you should be thinking about your seeds, your chicks, your goats, your cows, anything like that. That's going to replenish that food supply for you for 1 to 3 years, 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, whatever it may be. So that being said, let's go take a little gander over here. This is what I'm getting ready to work on. We are getting all of our pots ready. It's about that time to start planting. To start planting, right? Can you all see all those? So I got plenty of plants. That white bin is full, right? That white bin is completely full of potting soil, ready to go. Beautiful day in the Ozarks, look at that. But that's really important. Getting that, you know, not only having the food supply, but being able to reproduce it and reproduce it and reproduce it. Because you and me, my friends, are going to need it. With the food prices happening, and now EBT for lots and lots of people is getting deducted smaller and smaller and smaller. So it's really important to think about how you're going to have long-term food and how you're going to manage that. But our next thing on the board is water. And not just water like how you're going to collect it, but how are you going to clean it? And we've talked about this for the last year. 12 to 15 minutes. Boil it. Boil it the old-fashioned way. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with boiling water. And it's going to be cheap, easy, and it's going to make sure that it's clean. If you have a RO, a Lexapure, whatever, that's great. A Berkey, whatever. But knowing the old-fashioned way, because you're going to run out of filters and things like that, you need to be able to have another way to do it. And then shelter. You know, I was talking with a friend of mine, and it made good darn sense. And oops, hey, where'd I go? Oh, okay, let me bring you down here. So it made really good sense. What she was stating to me is that when it comes down to shelter, worst case scenario, at least if your car's paid off, at least if that vehicle's paid off, it would be a place to bunker down. You could move it around. You could do what you have to do. But without something over your head, the bill collector's still coming, y'all. No matter what. No matter if the CBDC rolls in, no matter if it gets cut off, no matter if the dollar falls, whatever may happen, it's still going to roll in on us. We still have we still have bills we got to pay, right? But then we're going to get more in detail, which is your first aid, kit. You know, you're going to need some first aid. Just a basic kit. It is wonderful. That's awesome. But then you're also going to need a trauma kit. And this trauma kit, we're going to go over it in here in just a minute. This trauma kit is everything that you wouldn't expect to happen, but that possibly could. So you're going to need wound care. You're going to need blood stop. You're going to need a snake bite kit. So this trauma kit really, it is a added on to your first aid, because basic first aid is awesome, but you're going to need that trauma kit. And then a big thing with everything that's going on, folks, is a nuclear kit. And I want to talk about the nuclear kit a little bit in detail. So the nuclear kit, right, can be anything from metal trash cans to your chemical suits to your nuclear mask. All those things are going to come into play. And you want to have a nuclear kit for you, your dogs, your children. You definitely want to have a nuclear kit. With the threats that are coming, and with what just happened in Norway, if we escape nuclear disaster, I'll be happy. Thank God that we did. But everybody is showing their ugly face. They're showing their ugly face, and no one's really backing down. It's like, oh well, you did this, so now we're going to do this, and so it's almost to that point of just retaliation, right? So I think it's very, very important that you have a nuclear kit. If you can't afford some fancy dancy mask, get any kind of mask. Get something. Something is better than nothing. Then you can always, as your prepping life continues, your journey continues, and maybe, right? Maybe it won't happen. But if it does, at least you have something in your nuke kit. We have everything from 2 masks. Thank you, Vanning with Ada, for getting Dragonflies one. We have Tyvek suits that can be thrown away. We have nitrite, some type of heavy-duty gloves, right? We have plastic sheeting. I have lead sheeting. All those things need to be in your nuclear kit. All those things can protect you. Now, I know, some of you don't like that smoke, but whatever. I'm grown. I know the ramifications of it. I do. But anyway, so the other thing is planning. Planning is really, really freaking important, folks. Because let's say there's a real SHTF situation, and you and your kids get separated. Do they know where to go? Do they know what to do? Have you talked to them about it? Do you have an actual physical plan with them so that they're not going to be scared to death? They're going to be scared anyway, but you want them to be as prepared as possible for the situation, just like you are, because your heart's going to sink if your kids would get separated from you. So what do you do in those situations? Who's the closest relative? Who's the closest neighbor? Where's a point B that you could meet at? And I think that's really important. Really, really important. Like planning together, sitting down and having a family meeting about this is why we're preparing kids. This is what's going on in the world. Don't scare the crap out of them, but make them realize how serious it is, especially if they're teenagers. you might really have to knock their heads a little bit, to get it through to them, how important it is. If you have little grandchildren, it's really important that they know what's going on in the world, not to the point that you're fear-mongering them, okay? I would never, ever say that about small children, but I would say that it's very important for the small kids, the little kids, to know and to have a plan and to sit down, like I said, together. Be it if your family unit is one person, two people, if it's you and a disabled person, but sitting down together and really figuring out what to do. I just realized that all of this is backwards to y'all. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me flip you around here. I so apologize, folks. I want you to be able to read the board. I want you to be able to know, but I'm not used to doing it that way. But also to have those meetup locations, to be able to tell your children, this is our plan. This is where we're meeting up if we get separated. And even you and maybe your husband, your wife, your fiance, whoever's in your family, is to have that meetup plan and to know where you're going, and if that plan doesn't work, to have a B, and a C. You might have only thought about plan A. Well, if we have to leave our house, we're just going to go here. Well, that plan may not work. So have your plan 1, 2, and 3. And when I say this about meetup plans, it may be good to know that there's a big tree, right? Happy little trees. Let's talk about Bob Ross a minute here. Happy little trees, happy little clouds, okay? So there may be a big tree. And if mom and dad get there first, or the kids get there first, and you're separated, and it's a dangerous situation, maybe you're going to tie a yellow ribbon. Huh, really? Hey, that was a song. Maybe you're going to mark an X. Maybe you're going to leave a note. Whatever it may be. But you need to have some kind of plan, some kind of point that you can tell the kids, this isn't safe, keep moving. If you see the yellow ribbon or you see a note hanging on the tree, you know to go to plan B. Because if plan A is compromised, you're going to want to keep moving. And I think that's really important to realize, that if plan A is compromised, you want your kids, you want your family to know, okay, we're going to keep going, and this is where we're headed. And it's very important that you have that second plan, that third plan, and that you drill it, that you actually practice this plan. I think this is one of the most important things, is sitting down and planning it out. And when you plan it, right? When you plan it, if everybody's on the same page, it's going to go a lot smoother. And then my last thing that I wanted to bring up was number 4, which is your resources, your mags, your books, and your maps. Resources could be anything. It could be the kid in town, it could be the grocer, it could be a dentist, it could be a nurse, whatever. And to have plenty of books for your reference material, right? Because without reference material, you're probably going to draw a blank. And to have some physical maps, because we're too reliant on technology. I think those things are really, really super important. Like, I can't even tell y'all how important I feel these are, because without your physical map, what happens if you're out there and you're stuck, right? What happens? What do you do? It could be devastating. So y'all, these are just getting your bases covered. If you're new to prepping, we welcome you. If you're new to prepping, don't go to the fear-mongering channels and get scared to death. We are really doing some down-to-earth, sensible prepping here at OTWP, because I feel it's important. There's too much fear-mongering. There's too much bullshit. And, oh, hold on. Oh, nope. What a beautiful day in the Ozarks, eh? It is a beautiful day in the Ozarks. Okay. I think it's really, really important, right? As you begin your preparedness journey, it's a little chilly today, that you don't rush to all these channels that are going to scare the shit out of you. You know, step back. If it scares you, yes, we're programmed to be scared right now. Most people are. But it's really important to sometimes step away from the news, step away from the fear mongering, and get back to basics. Because basics is going to save your ass. Basics is going to save your family. And that's really important. I'm going to be bringing a lot of demos to the channel. I have a whole lineup of demos. We're going to be making a 55-gallon, no, I think maybe it's 25-gallon. I'm going to show you how to make a small filter, water filter. Not as small as the liter bottle that I did before, but a little bigger, a step up. And I'm going to be showing you from the very beginning to the end. I'm going to be showing you some fire demos, some survival cooking demos. We're going to be talking some real down-to-earth preps over the next month. We're also going to be doing another nuclear series. I'm hoping that maybe I can find my old nuclear because I put so much time and effort into it. But if not, I think it's very important that people get on point about nuclear. Let's hope and pray to God that we don't have a nuclear situation. But if we do, wouldn't it be better to have a little bit of nuclear information in your skill set? That's really important. Well, I'm sending you big prepper hugs from here in the Ozarks. I got work to do, and I'm really excited about the new journey that we're on here at OTWP Prepping. I hope that if you want to watch the news, you can go to OTWP TV News. I will be bringing some risky stuff. I already got a warning over there. It'll be a strike before you know it. But you know what? We got to keep speaking the truth. We got to keep searching for the truth. But we also know that the truth is the light, love, and hope that we need to shine to the world. And we need to shine it to humanity. We need to shine it to our children. Our kids are getting misdirected. And we need to be the anchor in their life. If you have small kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever, open up the lines of communication. Let them know that you're there no matter what to talk to. That's really, really important. Big prepper hugs from here in the Ozarks to wherever you're at in this happy world. This is OTWP, Off the Wall Prepper, signing out. I'll see y'all later. I hope everybody has a fantastic day and that you keep doing the dang thing. The things that matter. Do something, anything, to prepare yourself for the collapse. Hey, let's take a gander. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is out here. The trees are starting to change, and it's really starting to be beautiful here in the Ozarks. And God definitely placed us where we're supposed to be. And we're all here on this in this place, on this channel, in our lives, exactly where God wants us. Don't forget to take the time to smell the roses, watch the cats, see the birds, listen to the wind chimes. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Believe that, because God wins. Big prepper hugs from here in the Ozarks to wherever you're at. Do the dang thing. See y'all tonight.